I'm Dave Crane. Now I also do gigs like this. And I can train you to be able to work with people like this. And then you also can do gigs like this. Come join me and we'll take your speaking to a whole new It cut out. I was going to say whole new level, and before you know it, I've gone. Well, nice to see you anyway. My name's Dave Crane. My job is to make you entertained, keep you entertained, and keep you going to the end of the show. Today's show, it feels like I've not seen it for ages. How are you? You're looking good, actually. I don't know what you've done to your hair. You washed it? Is that what it is? You've made a bit of effort to make it look okay? Bit of soap, bit of water, maybe a little bit of conditioner just to make it bring out the best. And if you're bald, by the way, and you're watching, I don't mean to offend you. I was talking about your nose hair. It's yesterday I was on, but I wasn't on because I was showing a rerun of the Toilet Paper Diaries of myself and Ernesto, which was our 75th episode, which I wanted to share with you because I thought it was kind of funny, and I think you probably find it funny if you watched it. If you didn't watch it, then find wherever you're watching the platform the show and go back yesterday and you should be able to see it. Now we broadcast live to LinkedIn, to Periscope, into Twitter, to YouTube, and to Facebook. Don't start me on Instagram, just leave it there. But we share everything every single day. Today's show, by the way, sorry, I'm Dave Crane, hello. Today's show is kind of close to my heart. I've been a hypnotherapist for many years, and as a result of that, I like to make sure that my knowledge of what happens in the subconscious mind and the impact that it has for many people gets addressed. And I know that with the pandemic, it's really difficult for everybody, myself included, to deal with the non-stopness of it. I think there's a better word than that. It doesn't seem to stop, it doesn't interrupt, it doesn't take a break. It's like a bad dream that you're stuck in and you can't easily get out of. And that's what I want to be able to address with today's session. Today's session is 10 reasons why you are amazing. And I'm aiming it as a gift to everybody who's feeling a little bit under the weather or a little bit depressed. That woman there, as you can see, I tried to find a photo, a picture that would sort of summarize it. But that picture, if you look at it again, is maybe not the best choice. It looks like three things have happened. First one is she's playing hide and seek, right? So she's doing the countdown, and she's got to like 3, 2, 1. Where are you? Over in the house. How far are we gonna go? Or it could look like this. If you have a look again, it looks like I slapped her. Like I've done domestic violence. I don't do domestic violence, so it's like, Dave, what have you done to the girl? And you don't have to actually physically hit somebody. You can actually verbally hit somebody by saying, you've got a massive nose and I hate you, and you smell of fish heads. I don't know, something horrible. And so it looks like that, and I haven't done that either, okay? And the third thing I've just realized from looking at the picture is, how do I say this on polite TV? Have you ever played a game called Pull My Finger? Okay, let me explain how the game Pull My Finger goes. Right, you say to somebody, and you catch them off guard usually. You say, right, pull my finger. And they say, what? You say, pull my finger. And they go, okay, and they grab your finger, and they pull it, and you go, but for real. That's what it looks like if you see the poor lady in the picture. It's like she's pulled my finger, and I've done the actual, trouser cough, and she's going, oh, no, I can't believe you caught me, and that's got a whiff to it. So I apologize for... But it's time for a tea break, or a coffee break, or a water break, or a wind break in that case, which kind of is appropriate for playing the Pull My Finger thing. So today is dedicated to letting you know that you are amazing. I really, 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 really mean it. It's not easy to go through what we're going through right now. Nobody has ever taught us to do this. It's like it's like the people who lose a job and saying, you know what, we'll get another job. Yeah, you know you'll get another job, or you'll have a bit of a hard time, but it doesn't make it any easier to deal with. We know we're not going to stay in lockdown forever. And Dubai has lifted a lot of those restrictions now, saying we can have certain gatherings and certain events and weddings and so on, which is fantastic. But at the same time, you've still got that overhanging feeling but the coronavirus is still out there, and as long as you do social distancing and you're very careful and you respect other people, then you can have a gathering of up to, I don't know how many people, but with distance between us. And we don't like distance between us unless somebody's playing Pull My Finger, in which case you want more distance, not enough to, in fact, you couldn't play Pull My Finger now I think about it. Somebody say, Pull My Finger, you say, right, I'll do it from a socially distanced distance. So what we'll have to do is you put your finger out like that, right? You put your finger out, and I'll pretend to reach for it, and you pull it yourself, okay? So, ready? 3, 2, 1. Pull your own finger. And you go, and you go, that stinks. And you go, ha! Socially distanced. I know nothing. I can't believe I'm doing fart jokes first thing in the morning. Anyway, not to worry about that. Wherever you are in the world, I love you saying hi. Please do go hi, Dave, and tell me where it is you're from. This show is dedicated to making you happy. Today it is. Normally I'm quite depressing, but today I want to make you happy because you are amazing and stay the groovy person you are. Now, we're going to go through a lot of different techniques about this. I'm going to share with you a couple of things about gratitude, first of all. About gratitude, about happiness, a happiness index we're going to go through. We're going to have the kid presidents who you've not seen for a very long time, or maybe you've never seen before. And also, I'm going to be sharing with you the way the world was 100 years ago when we had the last pandemic. And trust me, stuck inside with Netflix, OSN, or any other streaming product is a million times better than the world that we're in then. And I'll be illustrating that with you. Plus, of course, I'll be sharing with you 10 reasons, as I said, why you are amazing and you should appreciate yourself more. See, the thing is, whatever you say to your mind is a supercomputer. So whatever you're saying in your mind is exactly the programming that it will pick up on. So imagine the coding when you go in a computer. If you've ever studied coding, then you'll know that it's basically machine code. You put it in and the computer algorithm reacts to it and does stuff. So if you're saying bad things about yourself, or you notice negative things about yourself, you're programming your mind to then act on finding more negative things about yourself. So if you're saying bad stuff like, you know, I've got a big nose, I'm going bald, and I hate myself, and I'm too short, I'm too fat, I'm too tall, I'm too wide, I'm too skinny, I'm too whatever you decide it's going to be, your brain goes, right, the boss is programming us, let's notice how and give the boss more of what he's interested in, or she's interested in. So therefore, you'll see everywhere things that indicate to you all the terrible things kicking around in your mind. That's why you've got to have an attitude of gratitude. That's why you have to feel positive about yourself. So therefore, your brain goes, okay, well, what's the boss interested in now? I'm really sexy, I'm lovely, and the whole world loves me. Really? Okay, well, let's start doing that. And it's really effective and it works. Trust me, as a hypnotist, I get people to do crazy stuff on stage, or at least I used to in the good old days when I did stage shows, because I know how to program your mind and what your mind responds to. It's interested in certain things, and I've mentioned this on my show before about having anchors. So, for instance, your favorite song is an anchor. When you hear it, you feel good. And looking at an old photo of an ex, depending on how you feel about them, will either bring back memories of, haha, so glad you're gone, or it will bring you making thoughts about, must not ever make that noise again. That's probably what you're thinking. Oh, by the way, this is really not, it's not so much about making money today. It's more to dealing with the stress side of things. And I need to get stretched. I might go out today and get a stress toy. I've got a number of meetings today. Still smells nice. You know what's going to happen one day is I'm going to get on this, I'm going to sniff it, right? And I know that my wife and my daughter, because I love them very much, but they're not so keen on me, will put some makeup on it. I'll go like that, I'll sniff it, I'll put it down. I've like clown makeup smeared across my head. And I wouldn't notice it apart from the fact I stare at myself all the time. And I love you, you crazy man. Now here's the thing. I'm sorry, I should take that back. Don't know why it's worth money. You have to love yourself for other people to love you. And this is a truth. I know it sounds really weird to say this, but We're taught from many of our religious groups, whatever your spiritual thing is, not to be vain, not to go me, me, me. And social media has made more people go me, me, me than ever before. But you do have to have the ability to love yourself to a degree, because if you don't love yourself, how can anybody else love yourself? And this is the truth about being in a relationship. One of the best things I ever learned about being in a relationship was, you know, all that rubbish about they say, you complete me, you complete, all that stuff from movies, where they say you should find your ideal partner and the perfect partner. That is all BS. I'm sorry. In fact, Groot would agree with me with that. I'm Groot. Did you see my lips move? I'm Groot. I look like I'm about to bite Groot's head off now. I'm Groot. No, nobody buys into that. All right. But anyway, the point is that we're taught to find the perfect partner to complete us, and therefore we become a perfect whole together, like two parts of a thingy that's broken, where somehow they just come together, and you know what happens when they get together. But the point is that is utter rubbish, and it doesn't work, and it ends up doing so much damage. It's like the stupid original Disney movies, and don't get me wrong, I love Disney, I love Marvel, I love Star Wars, all that stuff, but the original ones, and they've changed it accordingly, used to say that that the princess would wait for the prince to come, and he would rescue her and take her off to his castle for a fairy tale ending, and it's just utter rubbish, because life doesn't happen like that. And often it's the princess that saves the prince. That's what I love so much about so many of the recent movies. So, for instance, what was the one with all the animals in? I can't remember, with Judy Hopps. The rabbit was running about. Anyway, Zoopolis? Anyway, that one was brilliant because the main character was a rabbit. She was a police woman, and she didn't need anybody's help. She just went on, did the stuff that she had to do. Moana is the same. And even Frozen has female characters who, when she finds a prince, he turns out to be a bit of a knob. Can I say that? A bit of a no. Oh, a bit of not the greatest guy that she could have spent time with. And so they've got over that hump of the idea that the guy should complete them. And it's true the other way around, by the way, guys. You don't have to be completed by the person you choose. So if it's a guy or a girl or an inanimate object or whatever floats your boat. You find you first. Once you've found you, then the whole point is that the person that comes after that doesn't have so much pressure. So, if you love yourself, that sounds like I'm going down dangerous ground, but go with me on this. If you're happy in your own skin, and you're happy who you are, and you're happy being single, then when you do find somebody to work with you, to love you, to adore you, and look after you to your old age, there's less pressure on them to be fantastic, and you just need somebody who's there. You know, somebody who doesn't like, you know, wet the bed or something gross like that. I can't believe I said wet the bed and fart in the same show. Today is meant to make you happy. So hopefully it's making you smile and not making you go click. So with that, you just need to find yourself, but you've got to be happy in your own skin. So there's a number of things you've got to do, and I will share them, I promise you. In today's show, I will go through a number of different things. If you just joined me, by the way, my name is still Dave Crane, and you're joining us to talk about this particular subject. And 10 reasons why you are utterly amazing. In fact, I'm going to give you a ton of reasons, not 1,000, tons of reasons why you are utterly amazing and you deserve to be nicer to yourself. And you have to do this to get the very best out of your life. So we've already established that there's reasons why that picture is like that. If you just joined us, by the way, you will want to rewind this and watch it from the beginning, because it was kind of funny, but only in my own head. Probably people just going, ugh, Dave, idiot. Oh, got a stress toy in here. Should I unbox it for you later? Are you wondering what it is? I'll show it to you later. This one you've seen, but this one is new. And the other one I had, which was the boxing thing, which I had before, with that thing which is the boxing thing. I know you're wondering what it is. If you just joined us, you're wondering, Dave, what's that? What's that thing you got there? Sinister. It's a boxing thing. And I haven't taken it out of the box and played with it because I've realised it's rubbish. And so I shouldn't bother. Right then, you're watching Speak on Stage. We're going to look at the first of 3 videos now as we reach out to understand what an attitude of gratitude really means. Because when you start doing it and you got a gratitude book, excuse me, Groot, then it can make all the difference to the way that you think about yourself. See that? Gratitude. And the way that other people relate to you. You shouldn't be throwing yourself at other people to complete you and make you feel like you're worth something. You're fine on your own. You're fine. You don't need anybody else. You just need a bit of a wake-up call when it comes to the way that you relate to yourself. Does that make sense? Great. Great to have you with me. It's an utter pleasure to spend quality time talking about all the things that I really love and all the things that hopefully make you feel good as well. And before we do this, just pull my finger. Go on, Dave. Pull my...
Research shows that adopting an attitude of gratitude, simply expressing appreciation and being more thankful, can measurably improve your overall well-being. For example, studies prove that gratitude can increase happiness, reduce depression, and strengthen resiliency. Grateful people often experience reduced blood pressure, less chronic pain, increased energy, even longer lives. People who purposefully express more gratitude report higher self-esteem than those who don't, and they're more likely to help others, a pro-social behavior also linked to greater happiness. People who capture grateful thoughts before bed sleep better than those who don't. Why so many positive changes? Because gratitude actually rewires our brains, kickstarting the production of dopamine and serotonin. Like antidepressants, these feel-good neurotransmitters activate the bliss center of the brain, creating feelings of happiness and contentment. This appears to be self-perpetuating. Research suggests that with regular practice, you'll train your prefrontal cortex to better appreciate and retain positive experiences and thoughts, and to deflect the negative ones. Here are a few simple ways to deliberately cultivate that attitude of gratitude. Celebrate minor accomplishments. Think about what you have rather than dwelling on what you don't. Tell the people in your life something you appreciate about them. Tell yourself too. Volunteer, hold a door for a stranger, or simply smile more, and you'll probably feel better, as kindness and giving are connected to gratitude. Similar positive brain changes can occur from regular meditation and mindfulness. Keep a daily gratitude journal using an old-fashioned notebook or a high-tech app. The science is clear. Give gratitude a go. You'll be thankful you did.
So there we are. I've got my Avengers mug. Look at that. Look at that. Yes. There's Captain America, there's Black Widow, Hulk is burning my fingers, but I want to show you. There's Iron Man and Black Panther, and also Thor. And then there's my thumb. Not quite a superhero, but it's bigger than all the rest of them, see? So if I had a superhero, if I had a super thumb, I would be more powerful than the entire Avengers put together. Oh, another one here. Can you see? This is really quite clever. Can you see the last one? Can you see? Put it there. Just there? Where? There. Ant-Man. See? Get it? Ant-Man. Because it's very small. It's so funny. No? Alright, so we're talking about the attitude of gratitude, the ability to think well of yourself and think well of the world. Because then your brain's programmed to start noticing things that are around you that are really good. And it's good for you. Now, there's a thing called the happiness index, and I only knew about it when, based in Dubai, as you can see behind me, Dubai started championing the idea, and it's got a Ministry of Happiness. Seriously. And the lady that runs it is incredible, and we may get a chance to interview her in the future. But right now, the Ministry of Happiness is one of many, participants, where there's loads of countries around the world who are taking on the idea of being voted or being judged the most happy country in the world. And it's worth something, of course, because that means that you can boast about it, and you can get people to move to your country over other places. And it has a number of different factors involved, which we're going to talk about in a moment when we show this video. It talks about, the amount of work that people have, the amount of general happiness people have, the healthcare, all these different factors. But what I love about it is when you take that whole happiness idea and you throw it into the workplace, and I'm about to sneeze, I'm trying to... I'm sorry, I'm under the air conditioning, so sometimes it just catches me. And this isn't a thick t-shirt. No, it's quite a thin one. So sometimes it just catches me, and then the circulation, and then it makes me. Sometimes it catches up, and I'm coming home. I feel violated. And before you say anything, I haven't got anything. I just had the AC. I think my daughter must have turned up a bit. Oh, Maya. My daughter Maya, by the way, she asked me today, Daddy, can we do a TV show together? And we used to do one in the car years ago on the way to school, where I just set the phone up and we just have a laugh. It was really, really funny. We may do it again. I'd like to know if you've met Maya, you'll know she's really funny. Problem is, let me know if you want us to do a show, in which case we'll put something together. We'll call it Dave and Maya, or Maya and Dave, or the Maya Show. No, the Dave Crane Show, with a bit of his daughter in. Why am I being so horrible? I'm not being horrible, it's just that she steals the show. When she goes on the show, everyone says, gosh, Dave, your daughter's amazing. You're so lucky. And they say to her, Maya, how do you put up with your dad? He must be annoying. And I'm like, I made that. Come here. Oh my goodness, as if by magic. Come here, gorgeous. I'm just talking about my gorgeous daughter. Look into there, that's where we are.
Hello.
Hello. So, here's a little judge of it. Here's Maya. Why do you want to have a TV show, baby?
Because we're famous and you.
Talking to there, and get your head down so people can see properly. Right, there you go.
Okay. I'm just too tall for you.
Shut your face, just see it. Alright. They're on camera. Alright, so there's a microphone, and so you can tell people, look into there, right, why is it that people should have you on a show?
I'll be right back.
You see what she's just done? She just upstaged my show by suddenly walking in, walking out again, and suddenly I'm left without anything at all. Oh, you're back again.
Because I can do that.
You're gonna disrupt my show.
I can do that.
I was in the middle of introducing some stuff, and now I've got to talk about my gorgeous daughter coming into the show. And do you think we should do a show?
What do you mean?
Should you and I have a show?
Yeah.
What should we call it? Move over a little bit.
Show.
So you and I are doing a show, and it's called Maya's Show.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't it not called Maya and Dave, or Maya and Daddy, or Daddy and Maya? Daddy and Maya Show. The Daddy and Maya Show.
I think, you know, Maya's better, Daddy's okay. How about that's a good show?
The show's called Maya's Better and Daddy's Okay.
See, you got the hand of it.
So that's what we're going to call it?
No. The mini crane and big crane.
The Mini Crane and Big Crane Show.
Yeah.
I think we need to work on a title, because what you've got lined up isn't quite as good as I was thinking about. I thought the Daddy and Maya Show. But you don't like that, do you?
Dave and Maya Show.
Dave and Maya Show.
Daddy and Maya Show.
Daddy and Maya Show.
Daddy and Maya Show. Maya and Daddy Show.
Maya and Daddy Show.
Yeah. My name should be
Maya
first.
and her dad show.
No.
What?
Daddy and Maya Show.
You know what? One thing I've realised from this
What?
conversation, I'm so bored. I'll see you later. Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Right, back to the working then. We're talking about happiness index, and my daughter was clearly just jumping in on cue, and see what she's doing now. This is called hijacking the show. This is why she's not allowed on anything else, but I do love you more than anything. Just stop that.
The success and progress of a country is usually measured by economic growth, but is happiness a better metric? The UN's annual World Happiness Report consistently ranks Scandinavian countries among the world's happiest. And despite traditional indicators of economic strength being lower than in other countries, Northern Europeans seem content. But are they really? Could prioritizing happiness really improve the lives of citizens around the world? The UN Happiness Report ranks most of the world's countries according to a number of variables. Among them, GDP per capita, social support, healthy life expectancy, and perception of corruption. This year, Finland took the top spot, followed by Denmark, Norway, and then Iceland.
I think it's the work-life balance. So we have a big safety net. So we get free education, free healthcare.
We care about each other, and that is shown through our entire welfare system.
Well, our politics and economics, I think we have the basic stuff is quite good in Finland.
At the bottom of the table is Burundi, a country that has suffered ethnic cleansing, civil war, and coup attempts. It's among 6 nations considered more unhappy than Syria. The world's largest economy, the United States, has dropped from 14th in 2017 to 18th in 2018.
So a report like this is a message not only to poor countries, it's a message to rich countries also, like the United States, that have a kind of pure money mentality and have let the social fabric fall apart.
Critics of the index suggest that the way the results are compiled could be unbalanced, and say some factors like high suicide rates in the happiest countries show that important information isn't being accounted for. Finland, happiest country in 2018 and regularly counted among the top 5, has struggled in the past with high suicide rates. And a 2013 OECD report found that Iceland, Denmark, Sweden and Finland were among the top 10 nations for antidepressant usage. Is happiness so easy to measure? Can the rest of the world learn from Northern European thinking by shifting the focus away from the financials and embracing a more socially democratic approach?
Welcome back, it's me, Dave Crane. Welcome to Speak on Stage. I've got rid of my daughter now. She's now banned from a show. And you're going, oh, don't give me If it was your kid, you'd do the same thing. She walks in and just takes over, and she's gorgeous and funny and lovely and better to look at than I am. So yes, that's not going to happen. So going to the happiness index, every country that wants to participate has the opportunity. Now that video was actually made a couple of years ago. I'm not sure what the happiness index says now, because I'm sure during 2020 it's really hard to judge exactly how well these countries are doing when everybody's in lockdown, and some came out of it really well. So you probably find that countries like, again, the Scandinavian countries, and it's interesting to see this, that they decided that they'd do the social distancing thing straight away. Whether you're looking at Sweden or you're looking at the other countries that actually had lockdown as well, they kind of came out of it much faster than everybody else. Places like New Zealand, for instance, where they've got this kind of like, I know we've got a smaller country, and I know they've got natural borders being islands, but they still turned around and said, right, this is what we're going to do as a country, and people bought into it. I think that collective mentality where they say, you know, this is the common good, is all about the fact that people love each other and care about each other. So if your country isn't high on the happiness index, there's a very good chance that it's because people don't think about themselves in that kind of way, where we're a community. And that there's got lots of reasons. I'm not saying it's your nationality, I'm not saying it's your government, I'm not saying it's your culture, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it's interesting to see, but it's something towards working, something worth working towards, so you can get the very best out of your country and your life and your happiness. And the happiness index is very interesting, because I was talking about it before my gorgeous daughter Maya came in, because it's used as a barometer for the workplace. So a happy workplace actually means that you're starting to take on life coaching values. You start to look at what makes people happy. You start to ask them about their work-life balance and their goals and their objectives and the things that they want out of life. And if you can get that right, then people start becoming more happy naturally. So you can actually grade yourself as a happy place to work with, or a happy place to work in, which is worth money to you. Why is that? Well, when you look at the likes of your Googles and all the big companies that people say, wow, I'd love to work for them, they can boast that they've got a really big happiness index. And so people want to work with those companies and contribute so they can get the very best of their staff. It's not just about the money that they pay, it's about the fact that people feel that they're fulfilled, they're able to grow, and they're able to learn. And so when people leave there, they also turn around and say, you should go and work there. I've left because I sort of outgrew it, or I've got an opportunity to do something else. But I would recommend go there because I learned everything I needed to from there. Does that make sense? Cool. All right, next up, we're going to have a look at Kid President. Now, Kid President was somebody who was huge during the Obama years because he was dressed like Obama, but he's a little kid. And I like him because he reminds me of me when I was a kid. And he's very funny, he's very cool. He's probably now a teenage president and probably, you know, doing stuff that he shouldn't talk about because that's what teenagers are meant to do. But it's kind of cool. So today's show, by the way, if you just joined us, is about this. It's about three things I mentioned that I can't mention again because it was really mature of me. But all to do with why you are amazing, and you shouldn't hide your face like that unless you're playing hide and seek, pull my finger, or you've had a Barney with somebody who's just gone like that, and you've gone, oh, don't, please, just don't show me that face. Love your thoughts on it. What makes you happy? Contact me, leave the details down here, and as always, I will comment on everything you send. So next up, Kid President on Speak on Stage.
So let's be real. Some days are hard. So I made this list of awesome things I'm thankful for. Yeah. Sometimes I need reminding that things are not all that bad. So I wanted to share a few because you guys are my friends. It's great to be alive. And here's some reminders why. First one, bubble wrap. When cats do their tongue, like this. I'm also thankful for the little paw pads like the cats and dogs have and the sound it makes. Paw pads. I love them. Hey, turn that back on. Oh, no. Change it. Ah, there, that's better. Music is magical. It can make anything better. Right music can make a video better. The same goes with life. Singing. I like paw pats. Singing. If something's boring, just sing it, and that will make it better. Watching paint dry. It's really cool. Old people who still hold hands. Clouds that look like stuff. One time I saw a cloud that looked like an airplane, and I realized it was an airplane. Imagination. Without it, we wouldn't have airplanes, no internet, pants. We gotta wear them, because if we didn't, it would be sort of awkward. Pants. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Sleep. Clothes with funny names, like Windbreaker. Birthday cake. No reason at all cake. Just cake. Sorry, we filmed this while I was hungry. Forgiveness. I'm Kid President, but I ain't perfect. Ain't a word. We all mess up. Come on. Don't mess up and forget to forgive all the mess ups. Thankful plants undergo photosynthesis, using the energy from the sun to convert carbon dioxide to oxygen, providing us with the air we need to do things like this. I'm bored. Morgan Freeman's voice. Hello, I'm Morgan Freeman. I'm working on it. My voice is changing, but it hasn't changed that much. Food, taco, burger. I know, I already said food, but this is my list and my rules. Happiness. Sadness. Sad isn't bad. It helps you know what you care about. People. Sometimes people can be really people-y, but we need each other. Life's better with people in it. Family, friends, you. Just being alive. Sometimes we forget how it's just great to be alive. We're breathing. Some days are tough, but we got a lot to be thankful for. We just have to look for it sometimes. They say if you have food in your fridge, clothes on your back, and a place to sleep, you're richer than 75% of the world. I did not know that. So what would you add to the list? Let me know. Share this video with someone you're really thankful for. Oh, and of course, also this. Dancing! Brad and I are thankful for all of you. Seriously, thanks for giving us and the whole world a reason to dance. So what are you thankful for? Let me know. KP out. Keep going. I'll call this move the stovetop stuffing. I'll call this one the stuffed face nay-nay. I forgot one. There's something that I'm really thankful for. Uncle Jesse from Full House. This is macaroni art of him. It's beautiful. Have mercy. I'm filming a video to encourage people to be thankful. KP out.
How cute is that kid? Amazing Kid President. Can you imagine him now? Because that was like when Banana was in. When Barack Obama was in, all those videos were going out with the kid on it. So now he's a teenager. Now my daughter is about the same kind of age. She's probably about 8, 9, 10, something like that. But when he's a teenager, you can imagine now he's probably about, what, 4 years older. So every time he wants to be funny, no. What do you think of this? Don't know. Well, you put your iPad down, don't care. We're going out, not going. Come with us, it's so unfair. Teenagers everywhere. Trust me, I was one. Long time ago. Didn't have iPads, lucky to have a stick. Talking about that, here's the thing from Reader's Digest. I want to share it with you because it's kind of funny. Today's show, by the way, is about making you feel better. That's all I'm trying to do. I know I might be missing the mark quite a lot, but here's the thing. If you're having a bad time right now, especially if you're on your own or you're just having a hard time with the family or whatever it is, I really want to be able to cheer you up a little bit. Today's show is a kind of cheer you up and lots of reasons why you should be feeling better because you are amazing and we are alive and life is good because you are alive and you've got life. Okay, so here's what life looked like. Reader's Digest. Here's what life looked like 100 years ago, just so you can put it into some kind of perspective and understand what it was like. Now, just to let you know, before I start this, 100 years ago, there's a Spanish flu pandemic, and it killed about 100 million people around the world. I'm just saying. It wasn't started in Spain, so no offense to any of my Spanish friends. It was just called the Spanish flu for some reason. I think American soldiers had gone to Spain and brought it back and it got cold. Anyway, for whatever reasons, the Spanish flu 100 years ago was worse. And there are 3 waves to it, by the way. I think we're heading into a second wave now. Just saying, but hopefully it'll be a much more pleasant experience if we all do what we need to do. So, 14, I will probably not show all 14. This is what a razor looked like years ago. 100 years ago, that was a razor. It looks kind of like a biplane, is it what they used to call it? Can you imagine having that? It's just got a comb on it. And it's got a razory bit, and it is completely lethal. But here's the thing, it doesn't work on that guy. That guy looks like he's got the longest beard in the world. It's not cutting anything. All right, number 2 is this bathing suits. Look at that. If you want to dress as a deck chair, that's how they did it. I mean, didn't worry about looking revealing because nothing is revealed. Even if you go washing, like you go swimming with that, it just looks like you're only washing in the sea. Nothing can be seen for miles or up close, which is kind of cool in many reasons. Okay, a luxury car would look like that. Not sure if it's got a stereo. Not sure if it's got air conditioning. Well, it has got air conditioning. It's got windows that open, or probably not even windows. But it did have a chauffeur if you were rich, and if you weren't rich, you didn't have a car anyway. You just had a bike or a new thing called legs. Not a new thing. They've been around for a little while. Okay, that was a refrigerator, apparently. That's what it would do. I think you'd probably put ice in there. You'd have it in the kitchen if your kitchen was big enough. I don't know where you got your ice from. Maybe you stuck outside because it's really cold. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not quite 100, but I'm not far off. Okay, this was a pen. So a pen would look like that, which is quite posh. I don't know why it's got a picture of men running with guns, because if you run with pens, oh, that's right, he's conducting with a pen. The pen is mightier than the sword. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. Okay, this is, look, telephone. That's your telephone. That's your can you imagine the swap between having that as a phone and the phone that you normally use now? Hello, hello, hello. You'd have to be like this, dialing it up and going, hello, how are you? Great, okay, yes. You're on the mobile, fantastic. I'll just come to your house. I can't come to your house. Why? Because it's got a cable. The cable keeps pulling me. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get a longer cable, about like 5 miles of it, and then I'll come around to your house and then we can have a chat. It'll be so good. And you can phone me. I'll be next to you. There's no point phoning anybody. So that was a phone in the old days. This was a boot. Now that boot, I actually like it. I couldn't wear it for obvious reasons because my feet aren't that dainty, and probably it's a woman's boot. But it looks a bit tight, and it doesn't look that weird for 100 years. So people could wear that. This was a toy, and a kid with the worst haircut ever. Let's just have a look, right? So he's got this ball, and he's got, I think it was probably easy to play basketball in those days because there's no chance of you missing the hoop. Is that he or she? I can't tell. It looks, I think it's a boy because it's a ball game for, in 100 years ago, it's probably a boy playing it. He's got a stick. I think, is that a stick? Or is it a gun? It's called a game called Gun Stick Hoop. It didn't catch on, didn't stay. But a stick and a hoop. Oh, that's what we used to do. That's what it was. They used to get the hoop and they'd keep it going with a stick. And they'd move it along with a stick, and it was just for hours and hours of fun until you got to a hill. Then you run after it, and then the cars had jumped. No cars. Anyway, what I feel concerned about is his hair. That kid had hair like Darth Vader. So moving on, one of the other things that I could say is this. This was a music playing device. And as you can see, it's sucking the life out of it and sucking her hair into the machine. You get too close to it, the static pulls you in. Ah, help, I just want to get away from it. Help. And the music wasn't great, probably. I can't play anything from those days. In fact, I can't normally play music because I get in trouble because I haven't got the rights to play the music. We got any music here we can play? No, nothing coming up, not to worry. So, oh, hold on, here we go, hold on. I don't think I'll be playing that, do you? See that? No, wouldn't be playing that, wouldn't be playing that. No, try this. No, wouldn't have drums. No, none of you bother. It wouldn't have that kind of music. You'd have to have somebody going, oh, hello, Mrs. How are you? Let's all go to the dance and jump and sing and be happy. It's a song. That was a song. That was #1 in the hit parade 100 years ago, and that's why she's so happy. It's her favorite song, and it's sung by a guy called Aljon de Boudoir. Aljon de Boudoir was a French guy, and he was massively popular until he got eaten by a huge snail when he was on holiday in Zimbabwe. It's a true story. You have to Google it. Boudoir. That's what his name was. Moving on. Okay, so can you imagine that? Compare that to a phone. A phone that size. All right, I'll have some music. Oh, that's good. Have a bit of a disco. I feel good now, especially with your earbuds in. And then you got this lady. She's going, right, I'm just going to carry this gramophone. Oh, I've dropped it. Oh, look, £10 billion if I had it in those days. Probably not 10 billion, but it's probably quite expensive. All right, what else can we have a look at? A bicycle. Actually, a bicycle doesn't look that different, does it? It probably hasn't. Oh, has it got a seat? Has it got a seat? And it got brakes. It looks like it's got brakes on. In fact, with the handles and everything, it's not bad. I'd ride that bike. I've got a bike downstairs, and as you can see, not been used for a little while. And this is a camera. But remember, nowadays we've got a camera, right? And a phone and a music player all in the same unit on almost every phone. Compared to that, carrying all those bits around. And most of you don't even remember that. And this was a sewing machine. I don't think she was a sewing machine. I think that was a singer one, and a treadmill. So you stood on it and you went like that with your foot. And then you just thread it through. And I remember because my mum had one of them. And I'm showing my age now. And that was a washing machine. And clearly she's not washing that much. I don't understand how that works. How does it work? Does she just chuck it out? There's no water. Oh, there's a bathtub there. There's a bathtub and there's some kind of bicycle that you sit on and you quite clearly pedal, and you've got to take a magazine or newspaper to sit there because it takes a long, long time to do a pair of socks. Not great. And last but not least, a vacuum cleaner, which looks exactly like a vacuum cleaner. So there's nothing fab about that at all anymore. No, we're done. So just be glad and be grateful. This is what 14 everyday objects looked like 100 years ago. Yes, exactly. So be glad we live in the years that we do live in, because otherwise you'd have to be carrying around one of them and you wouldn't even fit it in your car. Well, you would if you had that car, because it's massive, but a big forehead is a weird car. Okay, love you by the way. Thanks for joining us. It's Speak on Stage, and we're trying to cheer you up by showing you how life is so much better than it could have been if I had taken another day off work. Time now for cheat sheets, and see there's a nice lady biting into my head. If I go like that, see how happy she is? Now this is the picture I was going to use instead of the picture I had here. Right, that's the picture I had here. 10 Reasons Why You're Amazing. Then I decided to change it to this one, but I decided not to change it all over in the end because I wanted to prove a point, which is we get happier as a result of the show. Hopefully that's what you look like. In fact, if you look like that, then call me straight away. I'm married. I'm only joking. Because we're going to look at 10 reasons why you are amazing, and I want you to make notes of this, because one of the things I would love to do, but we can't do it. In fact, you can do. Here's what you can do. During the time that I'm doing this, send a message of love to everybody watching the show. So anybody who's a complete stranger, doesn't matter, just send them a greeting saying how much you care about them and how you wish them the very best, and life will get better. Do that throughout this actual remainder of the show, so people know there are strangers out there who care about them, because it's kind of important to let them know that the world is good and there's lots of wonderful people who do care as to what's going on. All right, first thing here, 10 reasons why you're amazing, and that's this. you've got to learn to reframe everything that's not working for you. So reframing means taking something that's challenging and flipping it around. Okay, so a tragedy has a message behind it, like every cloud has a silver lining. So if something terrible happens, then you've got to ask yourself, what did I learn from that tragedy? What did I get out of it so it wasn't a worthless experience, it was worth something? And so if you've got a problem, or something, I mean, it could be a financial thing. It could be an opportunity for you to learn how to make more money. Or if you go for a split in a relationship, it could be an opportunity for you to find somebody closer to you, because clearly that one wasn't right, otherwise you'd still be together. So reframing is very important. It's using a thing called NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and I reframe all the time. I taught my daughter Maya, who you met earlier in the show, how to reframe from a very, very early age. It's really important. Sometimes it's really hard to find the actual silver lining with every cloud, but there is always a trail, and there's always something, and it's always worth looking for it. All right, so in fact, you can only really read life backwards, as in history. So something that's happened today that's really horrible and a tragedy, you won't know until later on in the future how that turned out to be a good thing for you, because the things that you do as a result of that change the way you are for a thing that's coming up in the future, which means you're now going to be ready to deal with it, but you weren't until this thing happened. Are you with me? I mean it, but it sounds a bit weird. Trust me, it's right on the money. All right, you're alive. That means something, and I mean it. You're alive. The odds of us being around for the start of a planet are 0. What does Dave mean by that? It sounds a little bit crazy. No, I always sound crazy. This is just a thing. Groot, you can keep me company just to prove this. Right, so here we have Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy, okay? Pay attention. So Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. And if you watch Guardians of the Galaxy, you'll know it's all about, well, the galaxy and all about the superheroes who are here to keep us safe. And all he says is one thing, I am Groot. I moved my lips, you could tell. So, the point in doing this is, if you look at the actual point, and I forgot what the point was now, just go back and check it. Oh, you're alive, that's it, okay. So if you take yourself back to the beginning of the universe and everything, now, I'm not a history buff, I do like history, but I'm not a science buff, that's probably more accurate. But from the beginning of the existence, unless you believe that we didn't come from dinosaurs, but we created 2,000 years ago, in which case, good luck with that. So how do you explain dinosaur bones? They were placed there. By whom? The Illuminati. Okay, for everybody else who's sane, take us back to the beginning of existence, and we talk about the Big Bang. The Big Bang comes, and then it turns into particles and so on, and atoms and so on. Right, here's the thing. Take us back to the beginning of the Earth, the planet Earth. And we must have started off with some kind of creatures, maybe even amoebas. So amoebas split and become more amoebas and more amoebas. And at some point, they would have been in the sea. So in the sea, you've got a male one and a female one. Maybe not amoebas, but you'd have like fish. So they're basically a male fish and a female fish would get to... Do you know how it works? Okay, let me explain. If a mummy and a daddy love each other very much, they can have... Google it, I'll tell you later. So the point is, we're talking about the fact that you've got 2 fish get together, make more fish. Those fish get together, make more fish, and then they become, then they get out of the sea. Not as fish, they start to grow limbs and get out of the sea, and then they become monkeys, and then become humans. I don't know exactly how it happened. I'm not thousands of years old, but you get the general idea. Darwin, Google it, you know where I'm coming from. The point is that to get to be us right now, you have got to get through war, pestilence, you've got to go through climate change, you've got to go through predators that are trying to eat you, you've got to get through diseases, coronaviruses, tons of viruses, every viruses, plagues, goodness knows what. You've got to go through poverty, and you've got to also, one of the basics is finding somebody who loves you, wants to have babies with you. That's a basic. How many people are single? Yeah. How many people are married? How many people are in the middle of a bit of both? I didn't stick my hand up for me to be all of them. I just wanted to prove a point. So the point is, and let's go back to the original point here, the odds of us being around are 0. Of us surviving, you and me being here in this world right now, are 0. But we are here. So someone somewhere, and maybe it's luck, I'd kind of veer towards that. Doesn't matter whether it's luck or it's by design. We are here. So we should make the most of it. Because guaranteed somebody didn't make it this morning. Guaranteed. And if you said to them, my life's a bit rubbish, I'm not happy about what's going on, I owe money, I've lost my job, they turn around and say, yeah, but I'm dead. I will swap that for you anytime. I will take your credit card bills and your difficult relationship and your self-esteem issues, and you can't face yourself in the mirror, and I would do something about it because I am done. I don't get another go at this. That's why you're amazing. That's why you have to appreciate yourself. You don't have to, but I'm asking you to just appreciate yourself. All right, number 3 is this. Pressing the button, it's going to do something. Here we go. You have internet access, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this show. And you wouldn't be able to enjoy yourself watching this show. I'm not saying that you always enjoy watching this show, but the point is, you are here, and we love to have your comments and your thoughts, by the way. Connect with people, send some love out there. We have internet. You saw that earlier. We didn't have it 100 years ago. You probably have problems with your internet as we speak. So you go, Dave, yeah, I've got a problem with Wi-Fi. What do you mean we've got internet? You're watching me now, so you must be watching us somewhere. See what I did there? Still the money. Number 4, all our challenges are designed to be exactly what we need to be able to deal with it. We can deal with all our challenges. If you have to stay indoors, you stay indoors. If you have to lose your job and get a new job, you get a new job. All our lives are us shaped. It's like if you ever remember Bugs Bunny, you probably don't, or Wile E. Coyote or Roadrunner. Whenever these cartoon characters would run through a wall, it would leave the outline of them around the wall. Your life has an outline of you around it. So you are the perfect person to be able to deal with it. We are enough. We have all the skills. We just got to ask our superpower brain better questions about how to get on with it and fix it. Number 5, nobody warned us that this was coming. I know, but be honest with you. If you had been told, right, 2020, you're going to be in lockdown, there's going to be coronavirus, and it's going to affect the world, they're going to go more digital, there's going to be a lot of challenges, TV is going to run out to a degree, but luckily Dave's there to save the world, woohoo! Not really. Would you have been able to do anything to fix it? Would you have done anything different? Because I don't think I could have. Being pre-warned or forewarned wouldn't have made any real difference to what decisions I made. You just took them as you came. I remember that we started Toilet Paper Diaries. I remember I started doing this show, and I reinvented myself digitally, so I didn't do any live gigs. I just did gigs online, and I did a lot more coaching of people with the Industry Icon program. That's the big changes I made, but I was heading in that direction anyway. So, you know, life wouldn't have been that different. It would have been different, but not that different if you'd been told in advance what was coming. Number 6, the splinter effect. What do I mean by the splinter effect? Right, let me explain to you. If you get a splinter in your finger, you go, ow, splinter, like that, and you go, splinter really hurts, you don't speak like you don't speak English. Splinter hurts, like Hulk. Splinter hurts, must get splinter out. You go, ow, that splinter really hurts. I know it's tiny, but right now it's really hurt my finger. And you get it with a pin, and you go, you take it out, it's tiny, and you put it in the tissue, or you throw it in a bin, or you throw it, and it goes away. Then you got the pain of a splinter there. But the thing is, the splinter was tiny, but it created incredible, horrible pain for you because your brain is trained to look for danger. Now, if it was like a stick that was stuck in your hand, yes, it would hurt a little bit more, but the point is you'd still be aware of the danger because you were taught to look out for danger, not necessarily to bless ourselves for really good things that are happening. So learn your lesson. You got a splinter in your finger, remove a splinter, think about what did I do to get the splinter? What did I do to get the splinter out? What can I do to avoid the splinter getting in my fingers? Maybe you don't hold on to handrails. Maybe you don't pick up old bits of wood. Maybe you don't fight Wolverine from the X-Men because he doesn't exist and it's in your mind. But I know for a fact Black Panther does. Oh, yeah. So then you move on. So all these things are life lessons as long as you allow them to be. Are you with me so far? Perfect. Number 7, your body is the finest piece of engineering ever made. Trust me. And artificial intelligence and robotics has not created anything as perfect as a human being yet. So you're in a living, breathing machine that runs on food and oxygen and love and emotions, and you have won the lottery. Even now when you turn around and say, I want a new phone, I want a new phone, give me a new phone. There's no phone that's as good as the engineering that you are in. If you decide to lose weight, you just go to the gym and work out, eat less food. But your thoughts are really important, so get them tuned up, because that's a software that will make you happy or unhappy at the click of a finger. Or 2 fingers, because otherwise if you click of 1 finger, it goes like that. Apart from the people who couldn't do that noise, I can't do it. All right, number 8, smile in the mirror and laugh more often to see that smile. and play comedy and reframe more often. Nothing wrong with playing music, but here's what I would do. You can create an atmosphere that makes your life so much easier. When you look in the mirror, smile at that person. Be nice, make that noise, do whatever it takes just to change the mood and reframe the way you are. Because if you're on your own and you're upset, you're programming your mind to find more reasons to be upset. If you can change it and reframe it and do a pattern interrupt, it's really powerful for you to be able to move forward and surround yourself with the stuff that makes you feel happy. So comedy always works. Music can work, but sometimes it can get the wrong version of you, so you've got to get the right kind of balance of everything for yourself. Does that make sense? Are you with me? Yes, Dave. Thank you. Okay, let's move on then. Next thing is this. So I mentioned about playing comedy instead of music and reframing yourself. There's nothing wrong with music. See, everyone is going through the same thing that we're going through right now. Everybody. And if life wasn't balanced and it wasn't so challenging, then it wouldn't be so much fun. It's true. Somebody's trying to ring me. Oh, somebody's trying to ring me. Okay, from America. Wow, look at that. Do you know who it is? The number is +1 347 6892. So it's still ringing now. We just won't take no for an answer. I'm on a live show. Hello? Hello? Yes? I'm busy. Goodbye. I pressed off. Okay, so as I was saying, everybody goes through this. If it wasn't so challenging, it would be boring, and you already have everything you need. They're very persistent. I can feel it on my phone there. And number 10 is this. Focus on what you can do today. And look forward to the future of what you can do next time. Moving my head. There you go. So, 3 things. Focus on what you can do today to fix stuff. Forget the stuff that happened in the past, you can't change it. And don't worry about what's coming up in the future, because whatever's coming up in the future will feel like it is today. And that's what you're focusing on anyway. So do it in that order and ignore everything else, because it will just fall into place. Does that make sense? And the final part of this is that one. Oh, is that it? Not an 11 one? Not an extra? Oh, all right, there we go. Number 11 is this. Can you see it? If you can't see it, it says, pull my finger. I'm really sorry about this. So then, the Industry Icon program is put together to allow you to learn to be fantastic at speaking. And especially if you want to go intense, then it's intense coaching with me, where we go through every single thing in your armory. We go through your branding, we go through your business, we go through your opportunities, we connect you to the right people, we look at the way that you present yourself, we maybe give you a TV show or a blog or a podcast or a video cast, whatever it is that creates the right version of you. It might be that you want to get better in your career, in which case you've got to be very careful about how you do it, because you're working in the framework of an existing business, but you could want to create a side hustle. It's all about making you money. That's what I concentrate on, making you money and making you happy and getting your reputation to where it deserves to be. Because right now, we're in a lockdown situation for right across the globe, but it's also a reset button. Right now, many organizations are kind of frozen, and many people who used to be the big boys and big girls in every industry aren't really sure how to move forward because they didn't reinvent themselves properly. That's why it's the best time ever for you to step up and be seen and be counted. And whilst everyone else is sort of getting their act together, if your act is together, and the best way to do it is to get fast-tracked by, coached and mentored by somebody who's doing it, it'll get you there a lot faster than you need to be. Meanwhile, if you're saying, Dave, I don't think I'm ready for that yet, I just want to be better at speaking, go to SpeakOnstage.com, and when you get there, then there's a brilliant program for you to learn everything that I know, all set for you in modules. There's hundreds and hundreds of videos to work through, all about different things like getting over fear of public speaking, how to charm a boardroom, how to do sales, how to get your own content created. There's so much really cool stuff there for you, and it's only $39.99. Yes, dollars. Oh my goodness, that's it. So have a look at it. When you get there, if you want to do the Industry Icon program or you want to have a Calendly chat with me, then all you have to do is click on the Industry Icon contact thing, and it'll open up a opportunity for you to look at my calendar, book us for a 10-minute meeting, and I'll go through it with you to see how we can help you get to the next level. I'm not finding people jobs, by the way, so don't contact me and say, Dave, can we have a job? I'd be really good. I'm sure I haven't got any jobs going, okay? But that's something that some other people will be better at sharing with you, but I can do a session on how to get a job in the future, and I may well do that this week. Loads to get through this week. How to be James Bond. Next James Bond. That's honestly something I'm going to do the next couple of days. So watch out for that. So the Industry Icon program is there. It's waiting for you. Loads of opportunities, because with brand new you needs to dominate in your industry. And there's no better time than now. So hopefully after all that, we've managed to cheer you up quite a lot. The idea of the show was this. I wanted to make it so you weren't looking like that young lady who's deeply, deeply upset because she's just bored with a show. Or maybe she's fallen asleep. That could be number 4. Number 4 reasons why she looks like that is she was watching the show, she'd had enough of Dave talking, she went, you know what, if I just get some kip, then it won't be a problem for me anymore. But it doesn't matter, it's nice to have her there with us. I hope you enjoyed the show. It's been an utter pleasure having you with me all this time. I've got this on mute. There we go, turn that up, put the music on, Dave. See, you've got a bit of a disco going on. Hopefully you're feeling better, and if you can, please share this. Subscribe on YouTube so more people can get access to this material, and let people know that this show will cheer them up. If you've got friends who are a little bit down in the dumps, then send this to them as a link, or just highlight it and comment as you go. And remember to keep sending good wills and good vibes out, and I'll comment on it for the next 2 or 3 minutes until the end of the show, and continue to do that throughout the entire day. It's been a real pleasure having you here, and I hope that today, as a result, you do know you're amazing. One of the things I want to share with you as a closing thought is a movie that I loved called Mr. Holland's Opus. And that stars Richard Dreyfuss, the guy who was starring in Jaws as a student, professor, scientist who tries to catch the shark. I think Richard Dreyfuss plays this really old guy, and I say really old guy, he looks a bit like me. And he wants the whole movie. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I won't spoil it for you because I think it's really important. But you'll enjoy watching the movie anyway because Richard Dreyfuss is fantastic in it. So he wants to write an opus. He wants to write an opera. He wants to write a piece of classical music that's so brilliant because he's a music teacher and he's at university in a tough part of America. So he's all the time trying to put together time to work on this and work on that and put together his beautiful music. It's starting to tear me up now. Put together his beautiful musical piece. And all the time, life gets in the way. Students with problems and challenges, and he's trying to help them and make their lives better. And then finally, he gets to retirement age. And he hasn't managed to finish his opus. And his wife comes to see him, and she says, "Follow me." And she takes him out, get me now, takes him out into this big hall. And all the students that he's helped over the years are there to say thank you. They were his opus. Not the music he wanted to make, their lives. He touched, he changed, he enriched. That was his legacy. With that, it's an utter pleasure spending quality time. You are amazing. I love you. See you same time tomorrow. Whatever you do, keep a smile on it. It's Speak on Stage. I want to ask you a question. What defines you? What if you lost your money, you lost your job, you lost your house, you lost your shoes, you lost your friends, you lost the ability to turn around and say to people, this is what I want from my life? What if you had no rights? What if you had no clothes? What if you had nowhere to live? What if your passport went and you lost your ability to take a plane to anywhere in the world? What if a bank didn't recognize you? What if nobody recognized you? What if you lost your health? And on top of that, you lost your will. What would you be after all those things? The truth is, you would still be you. Your phone, your gadgets, the people around you, they're what define you right now, but that's not who you truly are. The person you truly are is whoever you decide that you're going to be. And you can decide that person every single day. Every day you have a choice. You can stay where you are, You can look at the past. You can look at all the trophies on the shelf and the photos and the selfies of the places that you've been and the people you've met, and you can say, that is me. Or you can say, that was me yesterday. The one that comes today and the one that comes tomorrow could be anybody. And the adventure is, I'm going to define them right now. And that's why you create a roadmap and you define yourself every single day.